All right, the cut happened. Like the cut was coming. Everybody thought 80% chance of a cut, maybe more. Probably near the end, it was like 90. Cuts coming. Cuts here. Bank of Canada cuts 25 basis points. Woohoo! Well, look, there's two camps in all this stuff. There are people who want to see better savings rates because the GIC rate is absolutely dependent on these kind of rate adjustments. People want to see better return on their money, so they're mad. People who want to see the housing market just completely crash. It seems to be doing a pretty good job on its own in Ontario and British Columbia. It doesn't look like it needs any help, but there are people who like that, who do like that. They want to see prices keep falling, and they think that the cuts, any cut would sort of hurt that, but so far no evidence of that. It's falling all by itself. But most people, and certainly people with a mortgage, people with a line of credit, they are thankful for lower rates. It's tough out there. It's a hard place in Canada right now. And a little bit of reduction in your mortgage, if you have a variable rate, your rate went down 0.25%. If you have a line of credit, a personal line of credit, or a home equity line of credit, your rate just went down 25 basis points. Good. That's good news. Some people say, oh, Ron, it's not that big a drop in actual money. Yeah, but the drop since they started cutting way back time ago is significant. Like we had a 5% Bank of Canada rate in this country at one point, not too long ago. And now we have a 2.25 Bank of Canada rate. That's real. That's genuinely impactful on everybody's mortgage, everybody's line of credit. So what will the commercial banks do? The commercial banks will match. A 2.25 Bank of Canada rate equals a 4.45 commercial bank rate. That's it. That's where everybody's going to be. And that's great. So that your line of credit, if you're lucky enough to have a line of credit at prime, it drops to 4.45. Most people have a line of credit plus 0.5%. So that's 4.95. Still much better than it was. You know, it was like a lot before. Like it was 7 at the worst moment. At the worst, it was 7.2. Yeah, it was 7.2 or 7.7. So yeah, real hard to make those. It's a lot better. All right. What happens to variable? Variable rate mortgages will now drop to anything between 3.3% and 3.85%. It's really, there's a big spread. I'll explain to you why. Because it can be super aggressive for high ratio mortgages covered by CMHC. We got CMHC purchase coming up. You could theoretically get a 3.3, 3.35 variable rate that may be out there, that may be available. If you got a rental, it's higher. Could be 3.85, could be 3.9. So it's a big spread. So let's say the average is 3.6, 3.65. That's not bad because the way of the world now is that rates could be coming down some more. I know. Really, Ron? Really? The rates are going to keep coming down? Okay, let's analyze. What we're at right now is still within what the Bank of Canada refers to as their neutral range. In other words, neutral is 2.75 to 2.25. That's considered to be neither stimulative nor punitive, to say that we're trying to tamp down inflation, we're trying to slow the economy. If you go above 2.75, push higher. We had 5% at one point. So that was designed to kill inflation. And by killing inflation, you always harm the economy. So 2.25, anything beyond that is considered definite stimulus. We will learn on December 10th when the next Bank of Canada announcement occurs. Is it just going to continue the trend? Now that's starting to, you see economists are going to sit up and pay attention if it drops again, because that is a clear signal to everyone, to the finance ministry, to the people of Canada, that Tiff Macklin's opinion is the economy is in trouble, period. A consistent stimulative move into stimulus territory, yeah, the only thing he can come out and say, he comes out, drinks from his big glass, has a little sip of water, yammer, says some bullshit. But the bullshit will be, if he drops again on the 10th of December, that will be sad-sounding bullshit. Like, he will sound like he's a little worried. I think he's worried right now. Although, here's the thing I don't understand. He has no reason to be worried. He's going to make the same amount of money. He's got a job that has a specific time frame attached to it. When he leaves the bank, he's going to have lots of other things get offered to him because everybody wants a bank governor. So yeah, he's going to be fine. But is he really worried for other people, for people out there that may be losing jobs? We're going to find out. I can't really say. But what we do know is this: another cut, definitely stimulus. Definitely a sign that everybody recognizes that the economy is in a bad way. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another cut. I fully believe it's a bit of a coin flip. It's not a certainty, but I fully believe there is a more than 50% chance. A coin flip's 50-50. I'm going to say it might be 55. We got 2 more cuts in the Bank of Canada. 2 more cuts coming after this. So that's a significantly stimulative position to be in. That'll be a Bank of Canada rate below 2%. And that's definitely trying to revive the economy. So good news for borrowers, lousy news for savers. It's always lousy news. We talk everything about my channels to do about mortgages and being mad at politicians, but savers are, they were thinking things were pretty damn good when they were like at 4 or 5%. They're a bit happier. This keeps drifting back down constantly. It's not great news for savers, but great news. Got a variable rate mortgage? Good news. Got a line of credit at a bank? Anywhere else? Good news. You're going to pay a little less, and that's a positive. And are there more cuts coming? Yeah, it's a tight one. It's a close call, but I'm going to say yes, more cuts coming.